Is there anything intimidating anymore in the gym for you, or is everything
No.
just a breeze?
Nah, I just go full-fledged. I don't care.
Yeah.
You send me a workout, I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's my passion. It's what we live for, and we're big lifters.
Ashley, thank you so much for being here. We've been talking a little bit off camera. The Ronnie Coleman Classic, you won the overall. Incredible. What do you think you're going to remember most from that show?
I mean, the experience in general was nice. Always my favorite part of doing the shows really is backstage with all the girls. It's a good sport to do. Nobody's bringing anybody down. Everybody's supporting each other. We've all been through the cutting, and you're tired, you're wore out, but everybody has the same purpose back there. And it's very supporting and uplifting. And backstage was really nice at that show. I really liked the setup and the experience. And a lot of the women that I met backstage, we kind of follow each other now. So that's probably my favorite part of the show, is gaining new peers in the sport that we can support each other.
We could see this so clearly at the show, how your conditioning, in my opinion, was different than the other competitors.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you guys pulled this off?
So like I said, we started cutting it January 9th was actually when I started my cut for the Phil Heath. That was April 8th. I had took a really long off season. So my very first bodybuilding show was the year before that. And I took about an 11-month off season. We originally started off in wellness, and my coach and me decided after cutting from January till April 8th to just test bikini out because I had conditioned down so low. And the judges agreed at that show too that I should stay in bikini. But then I think still at the Phil Heath, I still hadn't achieved the conditioning that I needed for a bodybuilding show. So it's a process. It definitely is, and it doesn't happen overnight. And it has taken me 3 cuts to achieve that conditioning. It's a lot of cardio. It's serious dieting. But the main thing is the cardio. I mean, I was doing 120 minutes of cardio a day just to make sure that my body fat actually was coming off, not just scale weight. Like, we don't care about scale weight. We care about the body fat. So by the time we got to the Ronnie Coleman, we achieved some serious conditioning that we were proud of. So, and it was enough.
Yeah.
So
your husband told me you were or are an EMT.
yes. Yeah. I do that. Well, I used to work in the ambulance, but now I own my own business. But it's a wellness clinic, and I still have to keep my license up to date and everything. But yes.
Do you think the EMT background helps you with bodybuilding at all?
I feel like life in general, everybody goes through tiring times in life, but like just having that disciplined mindset, maybe it did a little bit. I'm really not sure, but something got me to where I can get through this. So we probably had a little bit to do with it.
One thing that I noticed in your front pose from the Ronnie is your left heel was a little higher than everybody else's in that front pose.
Was it? Okay.
Is there a reason for that?
I didn't notice that actually, but no, really everybody's bodies are different. I have really long legs apparently, is what my coach tells me. So I have to probably position myself a little different. We're actually changing a lot about my posing in between the Ronnie Coleman in Pittsburgh, just to make it, just always improving. That's also what I love about this sport, is you always have something to work on. Like, nobody's ever going to look at you and be like, okay, you have the perfect physique. Like, there's always something to fix. Always. You're always trying to improve. Everybody's always trying to better themselves. Like, you're always working on yourself. But yeah, I'm not really sure It could have just been the shape of my leg or how I was posing. We really just, you want to accentuate your body, your glutes. That's the big thing in bikini. You got to make sure that you're making those pop.
You do have some really big shoulders too, though.
Yeah. I don't
Some
know.
For bikini, I think y'all are headed in the right track.
I've been working shoulders quite a bit between the Ronnie Coleman and, well, today, but before the Pittsburgh show, because to make sure I'm proportionate, because I am glute dominant. So we're trying to make sure everything's even and distributed evenly around the body, so that way I can get some. I mean, I got really good feedback at the Ronnie Coleman, but they actually didn't say anything about my shoulders, so my coach just kind of threw that in there, since we're for sure staying in bikini now. So,
well, let's reminisce about last year. What was your first show like?
It was more so just, okay, like I did this as when I first contacted my coach, it really wasn't even to do bodybuilding. Like, I wanted to do bodybuilding. It was always in the back of my head, but I wasn't really sure about it. So my very, very first show was kind of an experience type thing. What I look like now compared to what I look like at that show, like totally different. Don't even look like the same person as far as like physique and stuff like that. I had a lot of body fat at that show. It was my very first show. So I probably did more like a wellness competitor, just because you couldn't really see everything. But it was a good show. I did the UBU Ed and Betty show.
Yep.
June 18th, I believe.
Right here in Dallas.
Yeah, it was here in Dallas. That was my first show. It was a nice show. It was a big show, lots and lots of women. So I got lots of experience on stage and moving around on stage and them calling girls and moving girls and stuff like that. And that's what was most important about that first show, was making sure that I was comfortable and then I could experience all of that and move, fluidly.
That's good.
Yeah.
What's cool about you right now, correct me if I'm wrong, is this is kind of the beginning stage of your journey.
It really is. Yeah. It's the beginning. That's what's really cool about
it. Where do you think you're headed? And as long as you're having fun and your mindset is right, I think, this could be something really cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, we all want to be a pro. That's what everybody wants, at the end of the day. But the journey and everything that you do, self-growth, mental growth is the big one. Like, you really challenge yourself and you put yourself through some stuff through prep. So you push your body to the limits. You fight your mind, like I just want to quit, or I just want to lay in bed, or I just want to do this, but you push yourself. So that's my favorite part of the journey. But obviously being a pro would be awesome. And then after that, who knows? I don't know, but I definitely don't want to quit bodybuilding at all anytime soon. So, the goal right now is to achieve a pro card eventually. So we'll see how that goes.
What a generic fitness question. Train to failure. What does that mean? And how hard is that?
So I actually, my coach really does not care about how much weight I'm lifting. He cares about muscle, mind connection, and the hypertrophy. So he doesn't want me to go in the gym trying to be a strong woman. He doesn't want me going in the gym trying to pull the most weight that I can pull. We're really focused on that muscle mind connection and really filling that and the muscle to help it grow. I usually do high reps in the gym. You can train till failure. Some people do. Some movements I do, but it kind of just depends. Especially in a prep. In a prep, he's like, do not go in the gym and lift the heaviest weight and hurt yourself. So.
And what's the third thing you said there?
Hypertrophy.
What does that mean?
So basically when you're lifting, you're wanting to feel that lactate buildup in the muscle. You're wanting to feel the tension in the muscle, really making sure that what muscle you're working. You want to feel it there. Like, you got to really work on that. So you're not just in the gym just moving, You're actually working, knowing what you're working and how you're working it. Everybody's bodies are different too. So like, the form that I use may not be the form that this guy uses next to me. So that's how I lift though. I don't lift heavy at all. Not lifting for strength. I'm lifting for shape, I guess. Shaping my body the way it needs to be shaped.
Your husband's around here somewhere. He's going to join us in a little bit. Did y'all lift today?
I lifted this morning before I came. I have to lift 6 days a week. So yeah.
What'd you do?
Upper body.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bingo. This is from your Instagram.
Oh boy.
Okay, here we go. April 26, 2022.
Yeah.
You said, I remember the day I said I never have a built upper body.
Yep.
Do you remember this day?
I do remember that day.
Please elaborate.
I have always been a lower body dominant person, especially in the gym before bodybuilding, before I hired a coach, before I got into this sport. Like, it was always like most women, you go in the gym, you work your butt, you work your legs. Like, that's just what you do, you know? And I saw the girls on stage for bodybuilding and stuff, and I just thought, I want to look like that. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, they're strong, they're beautiful. Like, that's what I want to do. And being able to achieve a strong upper body, being able to do pull-ups, being able to do push-ups, like all those things, you know, like I just feel good. I just like it, you know, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I feel good, but never would I thought that I would be able to achieve a stronger upper body because it's never been my thing, but it is now.
What do you think the top 1 or 2 things are for you to get this strong upper body? What are those?
As far as like movements or?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Well, I think you can't just do one movement. There's a lot. I mean, I do work chest, not as much as I work my shoulders and back, but I mean, I work my shoulders on back day, I work my shoulders on chest day, and then I work my shoulders on shoulder day.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, you know, you got your biceps, your triceps, you really have to work all of it. You can't just work a couple of movements and then call it good. At least that's how I train. Everybody trains different though.
I asked you this when you stepped off stage at the Ronnie. Kind of want to ask you again. Just common questions that you get in the gym, maybe from women.
Yeah.
We ask competitors this, and they're so simple. Like, what protein do you eat?
Yeah, it is.
Stuff like
So
that.
the main thing is nutrition. Everybody's just like, well, what are you eating today? That's probably my number one question that I get. And when you tell them what you eat in a day, they're like, well, I don't want to do that, which is understandable because, well, the way I do it, I eat the same thing every day because that's easy for me. My coach writes my meals for me. I don't do macros. I'm sure he follows some type of macro plan. I don't even know what my macros are. He just writes my food out for me. It's easy for me. And that's the way I like it. My body responds well to it, and that's what I stick to. But yeah, it's crazy because that's probably the most common question I get. Or, you know, how do you lose weight so fast when I'm in cuts and stuff like that? Like, it's not just, it's something that we've worked on all year long. You know, it's not, oh, I lost it so fast. It's just, you're now noticing it. So yeah, diet, and most women that are new to the fitness world, it's, well, I just want to lose weight, or they don't realize that like lifting weights is actually the way to like get the shape that you want. And the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you'll burn at rest and stuff like that. So it's definitely weight loss and nutrition are the 2 questions that I always get probably. My coach is really good and he makes it easy for me. So I'll leave it up to him and I just put it in his hands and I send him updates and pictures and videos and he just switches things when they need to be switched. So it's stress-free for me. I'm not over here stressing about like, oh my God, this isn't coming in the way it's supposed to or something like that. He does it.
When I interviewed you after you won the overall at the Ronnie, he stepped on camera. He seems like he's just so proud of you.
Yeah. We worked really, really hard to get that overall. We put in some work, lots and lots of hours on the treadmill or anywhere, you know, walking, treadmill, all of it, you know, wherever I could get cardio in, I was getting cardio in. Lots of hours of just not setting, you know. But yeah, we've grown together. We've gotten really close. We have a good relationship. And he coaches my husband now too. So it's really cool that we can all 3 kind of put our brains together. We kind of all work in weight loss and fitness industry too. So we kind of bounce off of each other. And he's helped us a lot. But yeah, he was very proud of me that day. Extremely proud of me. And he told me before going in, like, he flew from Michigan for that show. And he said he could feel it. He was like, I'm coming for your first overall win. And I was like, no, like, but we pulled it off. So
when someone's first starting out with a coach, does it take a while for the coach to get used to, if you will, the competitor's body so they know where to go?
Yeah, that I think so too. I felt like I was always making progress with my coach though. I mean, I did have times where I would plateau, but he told me like, you're supposed to be right now. Like, you're going to be in off season for a long time. So we want things to stay like where they're at. Like, we don't want to be losing weight or anything like that. We also don't. He's real big about, especially in the bikini category, we need to be staying somewhat conditioned all year long. Like, we don't want to put on too much body fat because then when you go in your cut, it's going to be rough. So, but yeah, he understands my body really well. I had really good results with the Ronnie Coleman, so I think he knew exactly what he was doing with me. We know how my body responds to things. So, and your body changes too as you're doing the sport. Like, you're not always going to respond the same to everything, and not every cut's going to be the same. So, this cut, we might have to change something. You never know.
I never heard anyone say it quite like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Absolutely. So, like this cut, I didn't respond well to sweet potatoes. So we had to switch me to rice early, which was so sad. But I know. I'm like, why? But yeah, so it just kind of depends. Your body changes throughout the sport, throughout the years, with age, with all kinds of things. So every cut's different usually.
We're going to go to Ashley posing in studio. We actually pre-recorded this. Let's go to that right now. Ashley, thank you so much for posing. I appreciate you so much. What are some of the emotional or hard times during the last prep?
Well,
Always challenges.
I run my own business and I have 2 kids. So I feel like that gets really, really challenging deep in a cut because you get exhausted, like mentally and physically, to where you just don't even want to talk. Like, talking takes energy. So you're like, I'm trying to save all my energy. But yeah, that was rough for me. And that was the first time that I had reached that kind of low of body fat. So that took a toll on me. I was like, wow, this is what it feels like to be really conditioned for a bodybuilding show. And it was rough. I have a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old, and the 4-year-old has no breaks. So, and that doesn't get counted in cardio. So that plus cardio and lifting.
It seems like what I'm about to say, some people agree with, some people disagree with.
Okay.
The worse you feel at a show, the better you look. What are your thoughts on that bizarre statement?
I think it depends on the person.
Okay.
Because everybody's different. So I kind of go through phases throughout my cut where I'll have weeks where I have all kinds of energy, even being depleted. And then the next day I feel like trash, good days, bad days. And
Are those because of low or high carb days, or?
I really didn't get high carb days. My carbs stayed pretty much the same. I carb loaded the day before the show with rice. But I will, so everybody's different. Everybody eats different. Some people get to really carb load before the show. Some people get pancakes and all kinds of stuff before their show. I never have gotten pancakes before my show, for the record. but
You seem disturbed by that.
Very, very. No, it's okay. But it kind of just depends I think it depends on the person, because everybody's bodies respond differently. Some people can eat certain things and it not mess with them. And then some people can eat certain things and it cause, water retention, bloat, numerous things that you don't want on stage. So I feel like that's going to range from person to person. I've always felt really good on show day. The only thing that sucks is the lack of caffeine. Probably. I don't get caffeine the day of the show, so.
How come?
We don't drink anything like that. I do get a lot of water. Some people dehydrate, and this last show, we actually did not dehydrate me. I got, I want to say it was 120 ounces off the top of my head. I couldn't remember the exact number, but usually I was getting like 60 ounces, a couple of days before the show. My coach doesn't ever pull water completely, which I love that about him. But I actually respond better to water. That's just how my body works. I don't, I wish I could understand my body fully, because it would make this process a lot easier. But yeah, he didn't pull water from me this time. So that's just kind of an example, But the Phil Heath, I was more tired because I did pull more water. But the Ronnie Coleman, I had a lot of energy because I did not pull water.
Interesting.
Yes.
We've talked about food a little bit. Here's another question about food. How do you stay on track with your meals?
That's probably a very important question too, because like I said, nutrition is one of the main questions I get in the gym. It's the hardest part that everybody has a hard time following and understanding. That's why we pay a coach, So I do not like to prep my food on Sunday for the whole week. That everybody thinks is odd, but I just don't. So, me and my husband both train and we both follow a meal plan. So we really like to cook our chicken at night for the next day. We eat a lot of chicken, and that's the easiest way for me. And then I'll meal prep early in the morning for the day. So, I mean, I have all of my chicken and my rice and my green vegetables and everything prepped in the fridge, but I weigh it out in the mornings.
But you don't cook it for the week.
No, I mean, I might cook my rice for the week or something, but for my chicken, I like to cook it for a couple of days. Like, so I'll cook it, for the next 2 days or something.
It just gets too dry in the fridge or something?
It just makes prep a lot easier when you're not having to really chew your food a lot. Chicken does get dry. So, and you also, when you get deep in prep, your seasonings and stuff that you use, toppings and stuff like that, like you don't want to use a lot of that. You want to keep it real basic and simple, at least with my coach, because I don't follow macros. I just follow a meal plan. So I like it fresh. It's just something to look forward to when you're in prep.
I have a horrible history with chicken. How do you make your chicken taste good?
I mean, I just bake it. I bake it. I've air fried it before, but I actually like baking it better. It keeps it more moist, and we have a couple of our favorite seasonings that we like to use.
Do you eat it warm or cold?
Well, I usually heat it up in the morning, but I eat it cold at work. Yeah. Lots of cold eating.
Chicken.
Yes.
How about this question? Do you have a treadmill still at home?
Yeah, I do now.
Is that just to make fasted cardio easier?
It is, yeah. So I rewarded myself with the treadmill after the Ronnie Coleman. But yeah, it makes cardio a lot easier because it's easier to get up at 5:30 in the morning and do cardio in your pajamas instead of having to get up and get dressed and drive to the gym and get on the treadmill. Nobody wants to talk at 5:30 in the morning unless you go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. And there's a lot of people that want to talk at 5:30 in the morning at the gym. So it's peaceful to do it at home. Very peaceful. I'm not a good morning person, so.
We just had Katie Dolan on the show in the last show, and I think she said she gets up at 3:30.
Yeah.
Like she's early.
I know some people that have to get up that early to get it in,
She has 2 kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get up about 5:30, especially when they're in school, because I get it done while they're asleep. I wake up, it's my time, I do my vacuums, I do my cardio, get it over with, go ahead and prep our food and stuff, and then I'll wake them up before the chaos hits. But yeah, it depends on your schedule, I guess, but yeah, 3's rough.
It always seems like people are saying their cardio is fasted. Why is this important?
I think it depends on everybody. My cardio is not fasted every day.
Okay.
It kind of depends on my schedule, but for the majority of the time, it's fasted. I like to keep it that way. I just respond well to that. They say that fasted cardio is better than regular cardio. That I'm not going to get into that argument because I don't know enough when it comes to that. I just know that my body responds well to it, so that's what I stick to. And my coach is real big. If it's working, don't stop it. There's no reason to break it if it's working. So if I'm responding well, then we don't change anything.
How long does your cardio sessions last?
So right now I'm doing 55 to 75 minutes a day.
Dang.
And then it gets up to 120 usually before the show. But then the week of the show, peak week, he drops it back down depending on what my body looks like. So I actually did a lot of cardio for the Ronnie Coleman, between the Philippines and the Ronnie Coleman, because I didn't need to grow anymore. There was no growing happening. So that's why I did a show, literally I picked a show and it was 5 weeks out, and that's what we stuck to because we got the feedback about me moving to Bikini and we were like, okay, we're going for this. Like, we're not stopping. And so it was just conditioning. So obviously I still lifted. I still did all of my workouts. I still did everything I was supposed to do, but it was just lots of cardio.
I did 20 minutes of cardio yesterday. I need to bump it up.
I do.
We said 55 to 75. 55 to 75?
Yeah, right now.
Well, that's a big difference. Which one do you do?
I like to do. I keep it at 60. I'm still 7 weeks out, so I'll do about 60 minutes a day. As long as my body's responding well when I send my updates and stuff, I'm good. If he says that it's not responding well, then we'll just kick it up a notch.
Okay. Well, tell us about right now. It's Saturday. Take us through the next 3 or 4 days in the gym. How do you split it up?
So Monday through Saturday are my workout days. Sunday's my rest day. So I'm lifting Monday through Saturday. So usually on Saturdays, I'll lift in the mornings after we have a training session with a group of people that we do back at home. So we do that. Then I go to the gym and I lift. And then I'll do my cardio actually midday on Saturdays because we get up real early for that. But usually I wake up and do my cardio first thing in the morning, and then I go to work, and then I'll lift midday. But yeah, Monday through Saturday. So for the next 4 days, tomorrow's going to be a rest day for me. So I'll just kind of relax with my kids and stuff. And then Monday, I'll wake up, do my cardio, go to work, do leg day on Monday. So, which is glute focused, but I'll do that. And then, usually on upper body days, I do more cardio. And then on glute and leg days, I'll do less cardio because you burn more calories on lower body days. They're bigger muscles. So, and then, Tuesday and Wednesday, so forth.
You said cardio 55 to 75 minutes. How long did the lifting sessions go for?
Well, it depends. Glute day is usually the longest day. I do my glutes twice a week, and then on leg day, I do a lot of glute movements too. So I'm kind of getting glutes in 3 days a week. But so my upper body day is probably an hour, hour and a half, but my glute days are probably 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Now you see some people in the gym, they go 2 to 3 hours sometimes,
Yeah.
but they're probably on their phone a lot.
Or talking. I do get interrupted sometimes. So yeah, that would be the reason for it, because I work in the gym. So yeah, that would probably be the reason for it lasting 2.5, 3 hours. But if you're focused and you're sticking to your plan and you're set after set, keep your headphones in, no distractions.
When you first started lifting, Ashley, did you have trouble getting through an hour of lifting quickly? And what I mean by that is you just didn't have the knowledge quite yet on where to go in the gym.
So I lifted.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah, absolutely. So I actually lifted before I did bodybuilding with my husband a lot. He actually got me into lifting. So we had a history of lifting. He was a little more knowledgeable in it than I was. So he helped me a lot. But one thing I did notice when I switched over, I've learned a lot about muscle mind connection and building the muscle like we talked about. Now I actually do that with every body part. So I'm actually understanding lifting so much more the past how many ever years I've been training with, French. And then also the rep range when I started training for bodybuilding was exhausting. So, you're getting up to 25 reps, stuff, 30 reps on leg press. That's tiring when you're not used to that.
Going pretty heavy too? Or?
No. I mean, I don't go too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
When you're lifting that many reps, I don't think it's necessary to go heavy.
What about the pace?
I would
pay attention to that a lot?
Yeah. So what you want to do is time under tension is a big thing too. That's the way I like to lift. So, you want to be slow coming down and then come up, depending on what movement you're doing, But I think that was probably the most challenging thing for me was getting the muscle endurance that I've gained now when I switched over to training for bodybuilding.
When you say muscle endurance, just the density or?
Being able to push 25 reps without stopping or 30 reps without stopping. Before, a long time ago, like I wasn't able to do that.
Just out of breath?
I would just go in the gym and do, okay, let's just do 4 sets of 10 or, whatever. I had no idea what I was doing. But
that's
now,
pretty much where I'm at right now.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll get there. But it's learning how to focus on what muscle you're working, time under tension, hypertrophy, like we were talking about. And like I said, everybody trains differently. I feel like some bodybuilders like to lift really, really heavy and some don't. So like, I don't feel like this is the only right way to do it. It's just the way I do it. But that was probably the hardest thing for me is I didn't have the muscle endurance that I do now. So my muscles, are bigger. They can handle more and are bigger for me, and they can handle more and I can do 25 to 30 reps and I have the endurance. Cardio helps with your lifting too.
I was just about to ask that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have the endurance to get through 30 reps of, whatever you're lifting. I think at one time my husband had to do like 55 reps on hack squat and I just cried for him because I was like, yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, I feel like cardio helps with that, transfers over to your weightlifting.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything intimidating anymore in the gym for you or is everything just to breathe?
No, I just go full-fledged. I don't care. Yeah. You send me a workout, I'm going to try to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's my passion. It's what we live for. We're big lifters. Our kids are surrounded by fitness. It's just our life now. But there's nothing intimidating for me anymore. Now I'm just going to do it. Even if I don't like the movement, I'm going to do it because I know what it's doing for me.
In the past, you were getting the workouts and you'd read it. Were there things on on your phone where you're like, what does that mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's so many movements that I've learned. But he's really good about attaching videos that he wants us to reference specifically because you can get on the internet and you can pull up videos anywhere. It's huge, well, YouTube, for example. But he will link a video for specific, like, this is the way I want you to do it. So you have something to reference.
I love how we're talking about French so much right now. I hope you're watching right now.
I will definitely send it to him. Yes, if he's not.
Do
He's the reason that, we've learned everything we've learned, and I've gotten to where I've gotten is because of him. He's literally molded my body into what it is what I tell him all the time. So
how did you get in touch with him?
one of the couples at the gym was using it at our gym, and I asked her. She was doing bodybuilding, and I asked her if who her coach was, and she sent me his information. So I sent him a message whenever I finally got the guts to be like, okay, Ashley, you're going to try bodybuilding. And he had me fill out a questionnaire, and then I had to send my first check-in pictures, which we always look back at those pictures because I don't even look the same. But and then it kind of just went from there.
Do you remember like your first posing practice session?
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
What were some of the things you were doing wrong, you think?
Well, I think everything, for one. For two, yeah, like nobody knows what they're doing in the beginning. I mean, if they do, that's great. Maybe they just get it. But it's been a lot. I mean, hours and hours and hours and hours of practicing. I mean, I practice 20 minutes a day still. And I didn't get any negative feedback about my posing at the Ronnie Coleman, but my coach sure has a lot of things that he wants me to fix. So we're honing in on that right now. We do it every night. And then because I started off in wellness, so it was a lot different. The posing's different in wellness.
Sure.
So I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't positioning my arms correctly. You don't realize that the point of posing is to make the waistline look small. So you got to position your body correctly. You got to make the glutes look round. Like, I wasn't doing any of that. None of that. So made a lot of progress since day one.
Do you miss wellness posing anymore?
No. So as soon as I got on stage for Bikini, even my coach said that. It was like, nope, that's where she belongs. I could understand it. I fit that category. They told me I'm just small. I'm very small. So, which is okay. I have plenty of muscle mass for the bikini category. They said, of course, I have lots of growing to do. I'm still an amateur competitor. Hopefully pro soon. We'll see. But I feel like when I got on stage for Bikini, I just picked it up faster. It was easier. It was more natural for my body, my physique, my body type, my shape. It was easier.
Ashley, we've reached the 40-minute mark. Let's go to your third and final time posing where you pre-recorded this. As we've done every episode so far, boyfriend, husband, they come on. It's awesome. Josh,
Yes.
How did you guys meet?
Well, so we live in a small town, so we knew of each other even in high school, but never really hung out in high school. And then I came back from active duty. I was stationed up in Mountain Home, and I took a part-time job at a hospital just doing administration, and she's an EMT in Waco, so she came in. I saw her, I recognized her, and just started talking then and just took off.
What was the first date like?
We watched TV
Yeah.
on her couch.
I worked
just
a lot.
Come out, when our Gianna, our oldest daughter, she was in bed, so we were just hanging out at her house, just watching TV, talking, just getting to know each other. Actually, I'd prefer that than a dinner or something, a little bit more quiet and personal.
Less people.
Yeah.
Sure. We've talked all about bodybuilding this last 40 minutes, but you guys really are heroes. I mean, EMT, and you're in the Air Force.
Was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 10 years. I went in 2012, active duty, got stationed in Mountain Home, did 4 years, and then I transitioned to the Guard, came back home, and then just work and school and just normal life from there. Met her and started a family and just doing great things ever since.
When you start in the Air Force, like the training and stuff, is that hard?
Yes.
Survival training or something?
So no, I didn't have any job like that in the Air Force. I was a part of the aircraft maintenance side. So,
Gotcha.
But basic training, and for me, so I played sports in school, and then out of school I got lazy. So I tried to go to college for a little bit. I got lazy, got really out of shape, and I didn't really get into shape until basic training, and it was just, you just have to do it, but it was tough, but it wasn't, it wasn't horrible. But I think joining the military is what kind of got me into lifting weights, because when I got to Mountain Home, I had friends and we'd go lift and everything, just hanging out, and then I just started to enjoy it, and it was more just it was a hobby, but it was kind of like a release too, just kind of, put headphones in, get in my own head, and just kind of relax and do something that, makes me work hard. So
I grew up in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Did you?
Shepherd
Air Force Base.
Yeah.
That's where my tech school was.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was out of basic. I went to Shepherd, and then from there I went to Mountain Home, Idaho.
Yeah. Where's Mountain Home at?
Idaho. So it's about an hour east of Boise. It's just out in the middle of nowhere. Like, you wouldn't know that there's a base there. There's a small town that's maybe the size of Gatesville. You drive through that town, it's just one road. It goes straight to the base, and then that's it. But it was good. It was a good experience. It's actually really pretty up there. It's a very beautiful area.
There's a cool website online that you guys are on, and it has something to do with Dancing with the Stars. What's going on here?
That's a charity event in Gatesville. Josh got winged into it from me. But they came up to our job, actually. So he's a trainer at the gym where I work out of with my wellness clinic. So they cornered us there. They came and asked us several times, and we finally gave in. But it is for a good cause. I don't know. It's just something new, something different. So we're just like, heck, we'll do it. It's for charity. So
yeah. It's Righteous Roots is the group, and they help anybody that's in needs. If it's somebody that's dealing with addiction or loss of anything like that, and they need help, they help people out. So, and the Dancing with the Stars is one of their biggest charity events. Brings in a lot of money for what they do. So I'm nervous about dancing, but I'm happy to be able to do it, to be able to help out in some way.
People that need it.
Yeah.
Do you have to learn like the specific
dances?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Luckily, they do have a dance instructor that we that we practice with twice a week. There's five or six couples.
Yeah.
And she choreographs, she does all that. So we're just pretty much puppets, and she's
it's kind of like bodybuilding. We're puppets, and they're pulling. It's the same concept.
What are you guys gonna wear?
I don't know.
We haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, we're still just trying to learn the movements right now. So, but it's gonna be a nice event. So I'm sure it'll be some
formal,
formal wear or something.
How often do you guys get to lift with each other?
Quite a bit, actually.
I would actually say rarely, never. We're in the gym. We're in the gym. We're there. We're working out, but we don't
like
really work out together. Yeah. We don't. I put my headphones in if unless I'm getting interrupted for something to help somebody in the gym, whatever they need.
We lived at the same time.
Yeah, we're there together, but we're not lifting together.
We don't do the same workouts.
And our workouts are French tailors our workouts to ourselves to so that we can build and become better bodybuilders. So,
maybe when you're in your off season, y'all can live together.
And-
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and before we started bodybuilding, before we started working at the gym, we would go together and we would work out. But we're both hard headed, so we can butt heads sometimes.
The gyms y'all go to, they're pretty big.
No, the one in Gatesville, it's Anytime Fitness, and it's a good gym. There's plenty of equipment in there. But it's not big. And I like it that way, and because I don't like when it's crowded, and just having to wait on equipment and everything. So it's nice to be able to work out somewhere where, there's people there, but it's small and everybody knows everybody, so it's a good environment.
Yeah, we have a good gym group.
Yeah.
Talking about you with the EMT stuff, but tell me about this hydration place.
So I own the franchise for Gatesville for performance hydration therapy, but we have franchises all over. Well, not all over Central Texas area. We have like 5 or 6 franchises, but I started the one in Gatesville. It is basically just IV vitamins, hydration. We have like Myers cocktails, stuff like that. And then I do a lot of weight loss. I have a lot of weight loss clients. I help with weight loss. We have stuff that assists with weight loss. That's pretty much it. We have immunity infusions. We take care of people when they're sick, do house visits. So there's quite a bit of different things we do, but it's cool. I like it. Kind of lets me mix my EMT background, but then also like fitness together at the same time. So it's kind of like getting the best of both worlds. So
Forgive my arrogance, but the first part there, this is vitamins that go through an IV? Or,
yes.
Or okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They're very beneficial. There's lots of different stuff. We do like the NAD infusion. That's a really good one. It's a molecule. And then we do, basic vitamins. And then we also just do basic hydration too.
Do you have any crazy stories on the whole EMT thing? Or something that
Probably more than 50 minutes worth. I promise you that. I worked in Waco and I always got stuck in East Waco, which is the rough part of Waco. So, and I did it for 7 years, 8 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah. It was a long time. But I've known people that have done it for 20, 30 years. So, but it isn't something I wanted to do long term. It'll suck the life out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, it's a stressful job. It can be, but it can also numb you to where you're just like, I'm here, But yeah, I saw lots of crazy stuff and lots of stories.
What about you now? Are you training clients right now?
I have a couple clients. So I got my training certification about 6 months ago. So I'm fairly new. I have a few in the gym, and then we've been doing a summer boot camp that's outside, which is crazy because it's so hot. But we just do that. I'm still trying to work on the way I do it, so how I train, and making sure that the information and everything that I have, I can give to clients the best way. So it's still a work in progress. But yeah, I think I have 3 or 4 right now. And Gatesville is a small area, so there's not a lot of people that are interested in one-on-one personal training. So eventually we're going to try to branch out and try to do some online stuff. But that's down the road. We've got a lot going on right now. So
yeah.
What about down the road for you stepping on stage? Think it's going to happen?
Yeah, it'll happen. I still got to get I'm kind of back wall, just kind of hanging out. I don't like to be in the spotlight. So getting mentally prepared to step up on stage is a big thing. But I think we'll probably possibly do a show next year sometime. But right now I'm focusing on just training and trying to build up as much muscle and get as prepared as I can for the first show.
When your wife was posing in the overall this last show, did you think she had it when she went to diagonally, or what was going through your mind?
I am going to be biased. I did think she had it. But it was
There was quite a few people on that overall.
There was, and it was kind of nerve wracking when they
There was
kept
a competitor.
moving around.
I want to say her name is Faith. She was in the green suit.
Okay.
I kind of felt it was between y'all two.
Yeah.
But you were saying, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Oh no, it's just I felt like she had it. I felt like she I felt like she had it before we even got to the show, just because of the preparation that she had been doing and all the hard work she'd put in since January. And then after the Phil heats, it's kind of like a flip switch. She's like, all right, let's go. So it was really fun to watch. And then when she got on stage, I was like, oh yeah. And I'm not comparing her to anybody else, just her, seeing her up there, and I could see the confidence in her face and how she was posing and everything. So I felt like she had it. I was confident. I was nervous. I was very nervous.
I feel like too, when they're comparing women, that say like that the girl that you were talking about, like they compared us a lot. You can change a lot just within 2 weeks, So that's why so many people do so many shows, and like they'll do back-to-back shows and stuff, because we're so comparable and so close in physique. Because there was a lot of girls up there I thought had really good physiques.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes it just takes a few little tweaks. And then in 2 weeks, you could go from like 3rd place to overall. Because I went from 5th place, 6th place, actually. I didn't even have top 5 at the Phil Heath to overall winner in 5 weeks. So sometimes that's just a few tweaks and you can move like 5 places.
You got such some friends at competing in the Ronnie and the Phil Heath too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who are those two people?
Robert and Wendy Louder. So they're the ones, they started training with French first, and they're the ones that
brought us in.
Yeah, Wendy spoke to ASHLEE about competing, and they introduced us to French and kind of helped us get started. Yeah, helped us get to where we are. So yeah, they're great people.
Well, your next meal is probably coming up. We don't want to keep you too long here.
Yeah, I'm pretty used to running on low calories, but when it's time to eat, it's time to eat.
It's like we're about to hit the 1 hour mark. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yes, absolutely. It was a pleasure.
It was awesome.
Thank you guys for watching, and maybe Josh, ASHLEE, you'll come back in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you guys.